The rule of tridosha influence is key to understanding the power we have through our nutrition choices. This is really important, so pay attention. Like increases like. Food and drinks that we consume that have similar factors to a dosha cause an increase in that dosha. For example, food or drinks that are cooling or are cold are going to increase vata and kapha. Why? Because vata and kapha are already cold. Inversely, food or beverages that produce heat are going to aggravate pitta because pitta is already hot. And it's important to understand that in Ayurveda, opposites are medicine, both literal medicine and food medicine. Ayurvedic doctors and practitioners will see the doshas you have that are aggravated and treat them using opposite qualities. In Ayurveda, if the digestion is off, then the tridosha system is off. Our metabolism is of utmost importance. Treat the digestion and all other ailments will subside, in theory. This is why Ayurveda, pitta is always treated first, then vata, then kapha. Here are some examples of external and internal sources of influence that can lead to dosha imbalance. These are also separated by the degree in which we have the ability to control. We can't control the weather, and that is a source of imbalance that comes externally. Some things that are internal that are within our ability to control would be inadequate diet, improper medicine, emotional handling, stress and anxiety handling, wrong combination of food, and a kapha increasing diet, as well as overeating. As Hippocrates says, let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. One thing to understand about the doshas is they are everywhere, including our time of day and time of year. The time of day is referred to as the tridosha kala. You know how people say timing is everything? Because there's truth in this statement. The pitta time of day, 10 to 2 a.m. and p.m., is when our digestion and metabolism is the hottest and the highest. This time of day is usually the hottest point, depending on where you live in the world, and seems to be the time of day when we're most productive in the evening if we stay up late. I can't tell you how many projects I've finished in those late night hours. The 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. time frame is the most ideal time of day for eating, which is why intermittent fasting is supported by Ayurveda. In fact, according to Ayurveda, a grown healthy adult only should have 1 meal a day. 2 max, also known as OMAD in the intermittent fasting world. Our digestive system is designed to go through periods of fasting. It's what keeps us strong and able-bodied. This is why meal timing is everything. According to Ayurveda, late breakfast or early lunch is the most important meal of the day. One thing to also understand for the larger picture is how the doshas are affected by the season. This is where our Richacharya or seasonal regimen starts to change. Ayurveda recognizes that there are many different seasons all around the world. In North America, we typically have 4 distinct seasons. In India, there are as many as 6. So this applies to where you currently live. Here in the US, there are 3 harvest seasons. The spring harvest is full of sprouts and fresh greens. The summer harvest is full of naturally sweet fruits, and the fall harvest is comprised of mostly rooted vegetables that naturally have a really long shelf life to help us through our winter season. These harvest seasons align perfectly with the doshas. In the cold winter months, vata becomes aggravated because of the cold, while kapha slowly builds up in the body in a more solid state. As the planet starts to warm into spring, kapha begins to melt and aggravate just like the snow begins to melt from the winter storms. Spring is when we see allergy season. Kapha is in charge of mucus production, which makes sense why allergies begin to come up during this season. And this is why seasonal allergies are unique to the individual. Some have more kapha than others. Then we move into the hot summer months. Pitta builds and begins to aggravate. This is where we see lots of skin disorders arise and lots of productivity in the workplace. As fall starts to cool down, vata starts to build up, starting the cycle over again into winter. Winter is when we feel the most pain and degeneration in our body. Our joints hurt because of the dry, cold air. All of these reasons are why it's so crucial to eat foods that are in season and local to where we are located. The local area around us will naturally make the foods that are designed for proper digestion. When we eat foods brought in from far off places, we are actually eating for the climate that they are grown in, not for the body. The rule of thumb for the US is to buy foods grown in your own state, or at least in your own region, the Northwest, Southwest, etc., and buy food in season. Last up in our lineup is the tridoshic age predominance. It's important to note that the transition from period to period is slow and arduous. Nothing happens overnight. When we transition from our youth to adulthood, we go through many mental upheavals. We notice our bodies don't recover as fast. Our metabolism begins to slow a bit. This is where many people start to see significant weight gain or weight loss because we realize we can no longer eat the way we could when we were kids. Children from birth to around the age of 25 are in the kapha phase of life. They usually have more mucus and have a higher likelihood of upper respiratory issues such as asthma. This is when the body is going through a rapid period of growth and expansion, so the body needs the extra mucus. Next, there's the pitta phase of life. This is when we are most passionate about pursuing a career or family, etc. We are more emotional here in this phase of life. A lot more anger, inflammation, and skin diseases. We need this passionate pitta energy in order to achieve our dharma, our life's purpose. The transition phase from pitta to vata phase, we see significant hormonal changes in both biological men and women. More so in women, of course, such as menopause, but men also go through this too. It's more subtle but known as the midlife crisis or menopause. Hot flashes can come from this shift from the hot pitta to the cold vata. The final phase of life, according to the dosha theory, is the vata phase. This is usually ages 55 and older. This is when we see lots of philosophical thoughts and wisdom arise, but with all the knowledge comes with it more pain and degeneration of the body. People in their vata phase of life are susceptible to cold climates and fare much better in warm, humid climates. And people wonder why many naturally end up in Florida for retirement.